that was not nearly anywhere as savage as people were to my boyfriend when his skin was inflamed. They used to say to him in Mandarin, like, your skin is dirty. That's pretty shocking. Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. So today's video is going to be part 2 of glowing up for free using minimalism. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. I made this video right here, which was glowing up for free using minimalism. And there's actually one comment in particular that was talking about like their experience with acne, and I thought that it was something that I wanted to address in today's video among the points, in addition to kind of offering up some more details of other things that were part of my superficial glow up. I will be making a part 3, which will be actually talking about the expensive things that I did in my glow up, which I have not mentioned, but these tips are for people who are on a budget or want to glow up for as close to free as possible. The points in today's order is going to be talking about 1, hair, 2, makeup, 3, skin, 4, mental health, and 5, extra details. Okay, so number 1, hair. I mentioned in that video talking about to stop dyeing your hair, or at least it's something that I did. I stopped dyeing my hair and the quality of my hair got a lot better. And I think something that I wanted to add also that is part of minimalism is taking care of your health and taking care of yourself. I think that instead of constantly dyeing your hair, I think that considering taking care of your hair and nourishing your hair would probably look the best than to keep chemically treating it. Among the other things that I also did in my hair journey was I stopped using heat on my hair. So you guys can see I have curly hair, so I stopped straightening my hair. Another thing that I stopped doing was getting very frequent haircuts, which also costs money. I mean, like, unless you cut your own hair, but just generally speaking, if you pay for it, cutting your hair less frequently will also save money, or learning to cut your own hair. Another thing that has helped me a lot is to have long hair, and that's for 2 reasons. Reason 1 is having long hair, especially if you have curly hair, looks a lot better because the curl is way down. And this is actually not a tip that I came up with myself. This is a minimalism tip that I picked up from Kira Ann. She is a minimalist who also has curly hair. She mentioned that having longer hair maintain her curly hair by like weighing down the curl. So that is something that I can recommend. Another thing is like cutting your own hair less frequently. So that's something that I do. I don't trim my hair that often, but I actually only cut my hair once a year, and I just give like a good solid 1-inch trim and we are good to go. And since I'm not constantly using heat products on my hair or chemically altering my hair, like I'm not straightening it, I'm not using like a blow dryer on it, my hair has gotten a lot better. Another tip that I can also recommend is having long hair, and that's a personal preference. Some people look great with short hair, but the reason that I'm explaining that probably if you want a free glow up, having long hair is because evolutionarily speaking, we consider long hair healthier because it means you have the nutrients and the capacity to grow long hair. Just like animals that have long luscious hair we consider healthier, like a fur is healthier versus like mangy animals that the hair is falling out. It's probably because there's some underlying medical condition. So I know as superficial as that sounds, but that's what this glow up is for. We're talking strictly from a physical perspective. Having longer hair will trick people into thinking that biologically speaking you're healthier and therefore more beautiful. Okay, number 2, clean makeup. So clean makeup is like this popular trend where it's like your makeup kind of looks like you but prettier. It's kind of in reaction, I think, to the millennial beauty guru like super caked face. I've like totally revealed my age. I'm a millennial. I grew up watching the beauty craze of like YouTube, and I see that Gen Zers are really into clean makeup, and I'll be honest, I think it looks really pretty. I think it looks really good. Makeup definitely is a very subjective and personal thing. I'm not telling anybody, you know, this and that, but if you're talking from like a money perspective, having clean makeup is 1, going to cost you less money because you're not buying as much makeup, and 2, it's a lot easier on you, and 3, you look pretty as opposed to, oh, it looks like you're wearing a lot of makeup. Like, no one wants to look like they're wearing a lot of makeup. We just want to trick people into thinking that we look pretty. So I could recommend probably practicing a bit more clean makeup aesthetic, and you'll probably hack your way to looking a lot better. Another thing that I also want to mention is that in a glow up, a little bit of makeup definitely does help, but that's not to say that you can't be beautiful with a fresh face. That is something that has been like a personal struggle of mine. I have made videos where I'm not wearing any makeup on camera just because that's just something that is just socially ingrained, at least in Western society, that you are more beautiful if you're wearing makeup. And how many have we seen those tabloids where it's like the celebrity, oh my gosh, what she looks like without makeup? It's like, why do we do that to ourselves? So obviously I don't want to sit here and advocate and be like,
yeah, do a fresh face or don't wear makeup, just find inner beauty.
I think that that's just bullshit. At least I don't stand by that mantra. I think makeup does make you look beautiful, but by that same coin, I don't think like a lot of makeup is going to help, because then you enter the realm of makeup addiction and financially ruining yourself trying to chase pretty privilege with makeup, because, well, like, makeup's not going to buy you that. That's either you have it or you don't. But that is totally for another video. We are not going to get into that, but my recommendation is to try a little bit of makeup. Kind of enhance your features is probably the best way to glow up and not blow a lot of money on makeup. Okay, number 3, clear skin. Okay, so this is the topic that I want to get to. So that comment from that subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I do like when people share our thoughts in a free way. I want to bring to the table my opinion. So actually in that video, I had a whole segment talking about my boyfriend's acne experience, but I felt like that was just making the video way too long, so I cut it out. But actually my boyfriend had medical grade acne, and he actually had to go see doctors for it and get on medication for it. So obviously his experience is not my own personal experience, but I was there with him. And I remember the doctor was also mentioning there are certain foods that they recommended he avoid in hopes that it would also kind of help with the medication. Chinese medicine tends to recommend more weird things that we don't eat, like cold food and hot food and oil. But one of the things was like to avoid eating sugar, because the doctor was saying that sugar is an inflammatory thing. And my boyfriend would consume a lot of sugar at the time. He drank a lot of sugary drinks like boba and just like sweet drinks, sweet tea. Like I remember looking at the label and I was like, I think that's a lot of sugar. Why don't you try cutting that out? And he didn't want to. He was like, it's just the sugar in the drink. It doesn't really count. I think the doctor's talking more about food that you eat. So like he went on the medication, and honestly the medication didn't really start to take effect till after he got off the sugary drinks. Just because if you don't know much about biology, sugar that is in a liquid form directly enters your bloodstream, as opposed to food that has fiber, like as a physical food. It has a more blunted insulin spike. What I wanted to say in reaction to that comment, or my take on it, is that this tip is just for people who can't afford to go to the doctor, because I know that going to the doctor is expensive, especially if you live in the US or countries outside of Canada. Seeing a doctor for your acne is not something that's affordable. So just for the sake of the previous video that I made, I couldn't offer that as a tip. But now we're having like real talk. Now we're actually talking skincare. So let's say you've actually done your due diligence and you have cut out a lot of those things and your skin is not clearing up. So if your acne is hormonal, or maybe there are some underlying medical conditions as to it, I think that could be something that is worth investing your time and your money into, because I think that your health is really important. And also there's less accepting of acne. I think people are a lot more harsher on acne than they are when they're fat. Like when I used to be fat, I used to get picked on, but that was not nearly anywhere as savage as people were to my boyfriend when his skin was flamed. They used to say to him in Mandarin, like, your skin is dirty. That's pretty shocking. I would probably recommend, if you can't afford to go see a doctor and you're pretty sure that it's not the food, then I recommend watching a lot of YouTube videos of people talking about how they cleared up their acne. There might be something in there that might help. When my boyfriend was trying to clear up his skin, he watched a lot of those videos and I would listen to them in the background. Some of the tips that they recommend is eating more kimchi. I know that's also like a food thing, but what I'm saying is utilize all of your free resources to the best of your ability. I think that would definitely help if you really are at your wit's ends. Everyone deserves to have clear skin, because clear skin is an indication of your body's health. Okay, and number 4, mental health. So I know that that's not necessarily a physical glow up, but since taking care of your mental health can be free, I'm throwing it in here, because no amount of looking pretty is going to help you if your mental health is messed up. So I'm going to talk about 3 things that have definitely helped me that are in the realm of free, more or less. Okay, so first one is journaling. Okay, fine, you have to buy a journal. There's plenty of like cheap journals at the dollar store, but journaling is something that has helped me a lot. I could like brain dump out all of my negative thoughts, and that has severely helped my mental health. I was just filled with so many negative self-thoughts that I just, when they're up there, they incubate and they become your reality. But if you get it down on paper, you are able to see your self-sabotage and hopefully avoid it. And at the very least, you can practice a lot more gratitude. Journaling, I think, it's not overrated. It's actually extremely helpful, and it's very, very affordable. Like if you can afford a pen and a book from the dollar store, like you're good to go. The next thing that I want to talk about is getting therapy. I have mentioned on my channel, I have suffered from depression. I have also gotten clinical help for it. I never got medicated, but the therapy alone helped so much, guys. Like seeing a professional has really helped, where there were issues that like it didn't matter how much I tried to resolve it on my own. Like the issues went on for like years, and it wasn't until I saw like therapists that things got better. I got a therapist during during the pandemic. So at the time, the Canadian government was subsidizing that, so I actually got it for free. I understand that seeking therapy is not a financial option for many people, so I don't know how much of a free glow up tip I can include therapy in, but if money's not an issue, or if you have the financial means to, or the resources to see a therapist, I highly recommend it if there are things that you are struggling with. Okay, number 3 among that point is decreasing your social media use. And obviously this is like biting my own hand or breaking my own rice bowl, because obviously I'm a social media content creator. It is not in my best interest to tell you to not use as much social media, because I want you to watch my videos. I want you to go follow me on Instagram. But for having like a real talk, I care about my Cobra crew. You guys are really important to me. I'm not a big YouTuber, so like it doesn't matter to me. I feel like I'd rather get up on camera and tell you guys the truth. And I think that decreasing your social media use would be very, very helpful. So for me, there was a lot of things that I felt were wrong with me just because I kept comparing myself on social media, and my self-esteem I had tied to the numbers on the screen. I thought that I was only as valuable as my YouTube subscribers or my Instagram followers, and I had no value outside of that. And I want to tell you that is not true. You have intrinsic value. You are as valuable as you yourself believe yourself to be. So I think that taking a step back from social media and working on that could be very beneficial, because I think some of the issues of my depression were from, and using less social media would probably, I feel like, could be free. You probably have more time to like do other meaningful things in your life. And the next part that I want to talk about is like other things that are free that definitely help in one's glow up. Okay, so the first one is drinking more water. I think that drinking more water is in the realm of very affordable. Like unless you are like in a place where getting a hold of water is very difficult and very expensive, then disregard this tip. Our body's made up of 70% water. I think that drinking water is really important, and I think that on a superficial level, your organs will function better, your face will look a lot better, your mind will be a lot better. You'll probably have a better physique because you don't, sometimes we confuse hunger and thirstiness as the same thing. I mean, like, have you seen that it girl trend? Like,
that girl drinks water from like the 1 liter bottle.
There's a reason for it. It's like, yes, you want to be beautiful at the end of the day, but at the same time, you also want to be healthy. So, I mean, I know no one's gonna glow up drinking water, and that's why nobody likes to hear this tip. But if you're actually really serious about taking care of yourself and living your best version of you, I highly recommend getting enough water on the daily. Okay, the next one is getting proper sleep. And I know that I've realized now that getting proper sleep is actually a luxury, but you deserve that luxury. You are worth getting sleep. We didn't come to this earth to be sleep deprived, and obviously a lot of people are like, but
I don't want to wake up at 6 in the morning.
No, I definitely agree with you. I'm not here saying that you need to be waking up at 6 in the morning to be, you know, like
that girl productive hustle.
All I'm saying is get enough sleep. Get maybe your solid 8 to 9 hours and do what you need to do to get that, whether it be sleep earlier or, I don't know, maybe wake up earlier. Whatever it is that fits your lifestyle, getting proper sleep is going to help you a lot. And if we're talking strictly from like a superficial, vain perspective, being sleep deprived is going to make you look very haggard. Taking care of your health and your physical state of being, if that is important to you, I highly recommend getting some sleep. Okay, and the last one is, and I don't know how much of a free glow up this would be, but I think I'm gonna say it anyway, and that's get a job. I didn't have a job in university when I was trying to get into med school, and I think that a lot of things that were wrong with my social status or my state of being was like, if I had just had a part-time job, I would have had money coming in, and I think a lot of the insecurities that I had around money probably wouldn't have arisen if I had been working. I would have not developed such an unhealthy relationship with money. If you want to have a good glow up, you become self-sufficient, you become a lot more confident when you have like money in the pocket. And also, sometimes it's not even a self-esteem thing. Sometimes it's just, let's just not be poor. Good old glow up is a lot easier when you have money. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that kind of addressed certain things, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.